I'm just gonna do a brief rundown on what I look at before I take a trade and why I take trades and stuff like that. Now, a lot of it is just stuff I've talked about in the past in other videos, but I'll give a bit more insight. Now, this is about my third time trying to record this video. First time I had to go do something midway. Second time I kept coughing because I took drops for my cold or flu, whatever I have. And so now we're going again. So first of all, we're going to be talking about my standard procedure. So for example, I'm going to give you guys a real life example of a couple of months ago. And what I like to do is I go on the daily or the weekly. Generally the daily is the best, and I come up with a long-term bias. So once I've established my long-term bias, I'll then say to myself, well, whatever direction I believe the market's going to go, this is going to be my majority the position I take most with leverage. So for instance, I created this chart when we were down at 17k. So I longed this. I did not long the move down, but I remember I was scalping all these short positions, so I was majority long, but I was scalping those shorts. Now, I didn't get the short in here. I probably scalped this, can't remember, but my big trade I took was long here, so I was longing big time here. Now now once we got into 25k region, I was thinking, hey, we're gonna go down to 10k. So I had changed my overall positions to short. Now this didn't do too badly. Like, I made 12% on the way down and then another 25%. I didn't take a trade here, although I did try short up again here, so I did end up losing like 3 or 4% unleveraged. But like, I was fairly profitable, and especially once that got invalidated, I came up with a new thesis or theory about 42k Bitcoin, and this has treated me fairly well, I'd like to say. So far I've made quite a nice return. If I can find the chart, that'd be lovely. Here we go. And yeah, so far now I'm actually majority long. So every single short or every single red day, I'm actually looking to long, and every green day I'm looking to take small scalp short. So for instance, I called for this pullback once we hit the FEG, got about 20% in there, and then I longed the pump there plus 30%. Now at the moment I do actually think we're gonna head down a little on the daily, so I'm gonna be now looking for a short position. Kind of disappointed Bitcoin didn't pump more earlier. It would have been a nice short. I think we're gonna go down into this region again. But you know, it is what it is. You don't get them all the time. So right, so that's the first thing I look for. Come up with an overall bias. Now then, in terms of actually taking trades, talked about this before, liquidity grab. Now the main thing is here, you're never gonna get like a pinpoint entry. Well, you could, but like, it's gonna be risky because you could follow through. So I don't set limit orders. Would have been difficult here. Like, I mean, you could have longed in anywhere around here. You still would have made a nice return even if you didn't catch the bottom. But here, for example, I alerted short around here. I got it on like the second hour after it happened, and we made a really nice return in like a matter of 4 or 5 hours. I think it was almost like 80% or something. Yeah. So that's the one way, and the other way is FEGs. Again, they're not that reliable in crypto, but they're way better for FX, but they still do work. Like, for instance, I think it was like here, there was a few FEGs that we just took immediately. Probably not going to see a whole lot of that, but if you actually go in the 4 hour, this is one whole FEG, and that was taken, and then we moved like straight down after. So yeah, although as you can see here, a lot of them don't get taken. But a lot of them do. Like this would have been a great one. Literally wicked the FEG came down. That's as far back as we'll go. But even if you go in short time frames, you can see it. So you're not gonna get a whole lot because the indicator doesn't go far back. But like, I mean, all these were taken. So maybe a better example. Now it'd be interesting as to see how high Bitcoin goes now after these been created. Doesn't give me much history. So yeah. And as I said, you can use FEGs for take profits. You can use it to enter trades, because once FEGs are hit, they act as magnets, so you can trade long here, or you can actually use it as a take profit. So, or sorry, yeah, you can use it as a take profit, so you can long here and take profits up here. You can use it as a magnet, so once price hits the FEG, you can go short. So the other thing then is Traders Reality. This is actually a really good one for crypto. Basically, you can use these to one, I use them the most actually nowadays for take profits. So I use the moving averages for different TPs. So like they're like super accurate, the take profits, although it's been fairly shit because of like this ranging markets, because the moving average is basically like in between the middle. But like as you can see here, like honestly, it literally just boop. Because I was actually looking to long here, I remember, but I didn't get that. I was waiting for this tap and I didn't get it, because look how fast it was, and look what happened, bumped. And I also use M's and V's. That's another thing I forgot about. So this is an M formation. That would have been a great short setup. Obviously I didn't get it. I mean, if you want to, if you're a scalper, you could have kept scalping all these rejections here. And now at the moment just sort of wedged in between here, so it's not great for ranging markets like that. It's a bit uncertain, but even on like daily time frames and stuff, they're great. Like look at that. Although that was sort of a bounce from there, but look, if you even entered long here, that would have been a great long. Same with here, could have went long. Would have lost here. It's a bit wacky there, but I used them a lot for my take profits. Like, that's where I use them the most. And as well, Bitcoin, I don't have enough time to explain it today. I'll use it in another thing. But vector candles represent high volume, and the market maker has to provide liquidity. So when there's high volume, the market maker is building the opposite direction, because by nature they're providing liquidity, they're letting us enter. So if the majority move is down, they're actually going long, because they have to let us sell. And so they're going to manipulate price then to favor their positions in the longer run. So so then you can use those vector candles to actually enter trade. So as you can see here, these vector candles here were taken. But like they're not always. You have to use common sense. Like all this is not taken, but it's the same with the FEGs. But it is taken quite a bit. You know, here's some other ones that haven't been taken, but like a good chunk of it here was taken. And you know, it can be taken in the future. Like for instance, I remember talking to a friend when we were at 40k, saying, wonder, like I remember we were here and he was like, oh, we won't go lower, and I was like, we do have vector candles from our initial bull run. It would be funny. I actually have a screenshot saying, oh, it'd be funny if they were hit, and you know what, they ended up being hit. So but like, I mean, look how long it took. So anyways, I hope that was beneficial. I'm not sure if it was what you guys were looking for, but you know, it was a brief rundown of everything. Maybe I'll do a live one sometimes. You guys can see me in the moment, but it's kind of hard to explain. But yeah, that is sort of how I trade these. It's not, sometimes there's not a whole lot of thought process behind them, even though I have a pretty good win ratio. You know, it's sort of just a lot to do with experience as well. Like I've been trading technically like 8 years. So originally stocks, although that was just buying shit when I was younger. Then it was stock options, and then I got into FX about 4 years ago, and then crypto 2 years ago. So yeah, a lot of it is just initiative. You'll get it after time, or not initiative. You know what I'm trying to say. Just like an instinct. You just get a feel of the markets. But anyway, hope that was beneficial. I feel like this is probably a longer video than usual. But anyway, if you made it through, thanks. But that's basically what I look for in my trades.